Hey gang, welcome back to Inverted Pursuits Laboratory. This week we're working on Project PRAETOR again, and as promised, we're doing layups. So we're starting with our upper body tube. What I've done here is I've built a spit system basically that I can use. It's not honestly great, but it will work for now. I'm gonna have to build a bigger one for doing the lower body tube, but this will do the upper body tube. I've sanded the upper body tube, and then basically we'll take and put this on here. The support's kind of like that, and now we'll be able to rotate this around as we put our fiberglass and epoxy on it. I have cut the fiberglass to just about this long and just a little bit more than 5 continuous wraps, which of 10-ounce fiberglass is a lot of fiberglass. Like, it's not the most I've ever done in a layup before, but it's a pretty big layup for this rocket. So we're going to start with getting the epoxy mixed, laid on here. I'm going to put on gloves and we will get going on it. Today we are using West Systems epoxy. It's pretty much the standard of what I've been using in the rocket hobby for quite a while. So we have our bin and our epoxy. It is a 2-to-1 ratio. Or sorry, not 2-to-1, 1-to-1. 1 resin, 1 hardener. So we're gonna start off with 4. Pretty sure that was 4.
Yep, that was 4.
I lost count there when I started talking. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, the hardener hasn't turned brown yet. That's a good sign.
Okay.
Alright. Just gonna mixy real quick. I wanna get the drill out and do this.
No. There you go. Wow, this is such a lovely time.
Hey gang, welcome back to part 2 of glassing. So, well, I guess this is the same video, but we are now focused on the lower body tube section of PRAETOR after previously finishing the upper body tube section. So I have my initial piece of glass laid out here. That'll only get me about from here down to somewhere here, and I've got another piece of glass to try and transition into the fin can better that we'll be wrapping in this same go. So we're gonna start with this, see where we get, and keep on working. All right, I'm filming this a little more candidly. So we just got back from Airfest. This is PRAETOR. So a lot of you guys got to see her out there. She was painted purple on literally the Tuesday before, actually no, Wednesday before Airfest. Was very quick turnaround on getting that paint job done. So the fiberglass layup was completely finished. So you can see it was honestly quite a bit of work. One of the parts I didn't film was the fact that I did a layup along the edge here, and so it's just literally a strip folded over the edge, as aside from the tip to tips that I then sanded back down. There are quite a few like surface finish imperfections in the rocket. Those are things we're not going to address at this time. I may choose to come back and address them, but for the purposes of getting the layup done, that'll do. And honestly, we're going for more of a low and slow at the moment. In the future, I may build a PRAETOR 2 to go for a high performance or a little bit higher performance flight. So we're just trying to make sure she gets off the pad and flies well. I've already found some features in it that I'm just not a huge fan of the way I designed it. I would redesign it differently if I was to build another rocket. So there are updates that we will see in other things. I also did add a rail button to this, which the way I added that was down on the inside here. I actually had to melt into the plastic and then screw in this T-nut from behind, which I hated having to do that. Like, I would have loved to have like mounted that any other way, but that was just kind of a, I was trying to figure out, am I gonna have to scrap this whole thing and start again because I forgot to put a rail button mounting spot on here. But nope, I was able to get it mounted. It is extremely rigid and secure. I have a longer screw than what I'd usually use. There's like an 1.5 inch screw in there because the rocket is so thick walled. So I am still able also to get the fiberglass tube in with that, but that's just where PRAETOR sits right now. I will continue making update videos as we go along, but this rocket at Airfest was looked over by both my taps. Both of them liked where we were going with it, and I'm really pleased that they like the progress I've made so far, and they're encouraged by where I'm at. And they were encouraging me that I just need to keep working at it. That it was a good rocket and we're definitely on track for flying. So that was encouraging to hear. Our next steps are going to be finishing the electronics bay and the nose cone. So once I get both of those worked out, pretty much the rocket's ready for flight. But that's pretty much where we're at right now. So thanks for watching, gang. I hope you really enjoyed watching how I did the insane layup on this rocket. Please consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more of this content, and I'll see you all in the next video.